Hello, guys. Good afternoon. How are you today?
Hello, Einer.
Hi,
I'm
Einer.
fine.
I'm
And
fine.
you?
Thanks for asking. Hi, Einer. Very well. Thanks for asking. Um, okay, guys. Today we're gonna talk about personality tests. So this is the topic for this week, and we're going to discuss the next question. How did you feel about the test in general, right? And what were the results of your test? We do this in order to know a little more about the personality of each one of us, and there is no order to answer. You already know that. So you can ask questions or give answers randomly in regards to the personality tests. Did you understand, guys?
Yes,
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 Daniel.
Daniel. Everything is
Very
okay.
good.
good.
Okay, so let's get started. Okay, we're gonna start with the following question. How did you feel about the test in general? Who wants to say something here?
And I would like to say something here, Daniel. Um,
Okay, Jonathan, go ahead.
well, Daniel, to tell you the truth, I felt very comfortable with the test. I think it has almost 50 questions or 50. I don't remember exactly the number, but I think it had a lot of questions in order to evaluate each aspect of us. For example, with some questions, I felt they were very easy, but with others, I had to think a little bit more because they were kind of ambiguous, maybe. But I tried to answer them as accurate as possible in order to have results to describe me correctly. I would say that in general, it was good. Yes. Actually, I really like the fact that it was very detailed because after you look at the percentage, you had the opportunity to observe a different information about my type of personality. For example, I could see information about my strength, weaknesses, friendship, and other aspects related to my type of personality. And that was great because you could see if you wanted to delve into the subject. But in general, I like the test.
That's true, Jonathan. There were many questions. In some of them, I don't understand why they may ask those questions if it's a personality test. But then I told me that those questions were an idea of how you are and how you think. The most important things I think was to answer the question honestly. For me, the test was very interesting and productive. I realized things that I didn't notice of my personality, uh, as I'm enigmatic and unpredictable person. I like I like the description of my personality, and I share it. A curious fact about my results is that according to the test, Michael Jordan and me share the same personality.
So you're the same as Michael Jordan, right?
Yeah, yes, it's
Kind
in
of,
terms
kind of.
of personality, in terms of personality.
Well, and I totally agree with you. That's the objective of the test. I like the enigmatic and unpredictable thing because that give you different ways of reaching to different situations, and that's great. You're not quite rigid, and that's good.
Hmm, yeah, that's true, guys. Almost the same thing happened to me as Jonathan. So at the same time of doing the test, I saw that they were simple questions, but they were some that had to be analyzed, you know, and this is something interesting, because in this way you realize some aspects of your life that you were not clear about. And that's the
Yeah.
same, and at the same time, I was able to remember or unlock some memories of moments in my life, you know,
Okay, guys, I have a question for you about you said earlier.
right?
Okay. Well, do you think this test really describes your personality, or do you consider that your results don't match your personality? What do you think?
Well, me please. In general,
Okay.
I think it had some accurate results. Obviously, I think the summary can describe me correctly. For example, it said to me that I was very assertive, and I agree with that. Also, it said to me that I make decisions 55% based on my thinking and 45% based on my feeling. And I would say it's very approximate to the reality, because when I make decisions, I always have this two part present, and I would even dare to say that in the same proportion to the test. However, there is a however. When I started to read the description of my type of personality, I didn't agree with some statements because they weren't true about me. So I would say to you, Andres, that I can trust in the test maybe 75% or maybe 80%.
Yeah, I have opinion very close of what Jonathan said. I think we share the some common points, such as that personality test is 50% of clarity, and in most cases are not assertive. To be honest, I don't like the personality test.
No,
In general, not this, but in general, I don't like the personality test because I think the the it's isn't a Bible I can define you as person, but in this case, the result was too close to the reality. I think that the most personality tests are a waste of time because they are very general, are made by people who are not psychology or anything like that. But in this case, for me, the result was very attached to the reality. I would say that in 70% truth. Like I'm pragmatic. I have a good sense of humor.
so we are like
Okay.
partners here. 70%. That's great. I think the same with you.
Sadly.
Andres, how curious you asked that. I was thinking of it because I was wondering the same thing. In my case, the personality test showed that my personality type was the protagonist. And yes, in some things the test is correct, but in others it does not seem to me. But I like how detailed the test is, and I felt very identified when I read that people with my personality type tend to speak up when something is wrong or unfair, and always try to bring out the best in close and non-close people.
Okay, guys, thanks for answering my questions. Thanks. Jonathan, I understand your point of view, and I asked you that question because I know that some people feel that these type of tests are useless, since for them the results don't match their personality. Maybe I never say that. However, I think the opposite, because this type of tests do describe my personality. From my point of view, I think this was a very interesting test since I have the opportunity to identify new aspects about my personality. And at the same time, I think that this test was easy to answer. But honestly, what I really like is that this test had questions very related to my life, which is why I feel very identified when answering the questions.
Okay, and Andres, what you just said, it's true. I felt the same with
Okay.
some questions. I'm not gonna say no, but I have a question for you guys.
Okay.
If you had to give a percentage of confidence to this test, what would this percentage be?
Well,
Okay, I
Jonathan,
like this question. I like this question.
yeah,
Go
me
ahead, go
too.
ahead.
Okay, thanks. Well, Jonathan, I believe that this test has an maybe 85% confidence since,
Okay.
as I explained before, this test describes my personality. For that reason, I give it the level of confidence.
I agree with you, Andres. This
Okay.
test is very good. I don't want to say percentage, but I think that this test is very reliable, and the results, at least in my case, was adjusted to the reality.
Okay. And well, that's great. And I respect your point of view. I think 85% it's also acceptable for this test. And I
Okay.
think the more questions, the better because they can delve into you. So the results or the result is more accurate. Perhaps 50 questions may be a lot, but I think it requires more questions.
I got you, Jonathan. I would say that the level of confidence that the test result would give me would be between 80 and 90 as well. Because I
Okay.
think I'm a person who is confident when communicating and expressing myself at the same time. As a protagonist, I feel that I have the need to be, not to be, to make people feel better, make them feel confident in themselves, and thus be able to change their mentality. In this way, I make myself feel good and my confidence level increases as well.
Okay.
Yes, I felt the same. Daniel, do you think that this test is used by company to create work things?
Okay, well, what I can tell, uh, what I can tell you, Einer, as we have said in previous conversations, I do not think that the test defines your personality 100%, but it does come close, and in many cases it does. You know, uh, but in my case, personally, of companies and answering your question, I would say yes, or at least if I had a company, yes, because I would use this type of test to be able to get to know my workers or my employees better and to know who coincides with whom when it comes to working. And on second thought, I think it would be a very useful strategy for companies as it is a subtle way to get to know the employees. That's what I think.
I think so, but I think it's not the factor. People are much more than what that test says. Uh,
Okay.
well, guys, now we are going to talk about what was the result of the test. Who
Okay.
want to start?
I would like to start here.
Go ahead.
Oh, thank you. Well, analyzing the results of the test, I could realize that I'm a motivational, sensitive person, and I like to do the right thing with other people. You know, at the same time, and taking this conversation to to a slightly more managing or business level, I would like to say that my personality type within a company is essential for good development within it,
Okay.
because the test results indicates that my personality type tends to be that of a leader, you know, and I agree, because I feel that I'm a person who can be won the respect and the trust of others very naturally, and without taking advantage or having bad intentions, you know. I have some memories of being like, since I was a child, and I'm happy to have been able to develop these types of aspects in my life and to realize more fully who and how I am through these tests. What do you guys think?
Okay, interesting. Was
That's
interest.
great. That's great,
Yeah.
Daniel.
Well, guys, for me,
It's a good point of view.
okay, for me, this test showed me that I have an outgoing, intuitive, sensitive, and judgmental personality. On the other hand, something that caught my attention was the strength, since this test showed me two very important aspects, that I am a very receptive and a very reliable person.
Okay, great.
I am a receptive person since I have my own opinions, but also I like to listen and understand the opinion of others. And on the other hand, I am a very reliable person since I fulfill my promises and responsibilities regardless of the level of difficulty.
Great, Andres. And after listening to you, I like a lot of different type of person, different type of people in a group, because you know, in variety we can find pleasure. So
Of course.
maybe
Yeah,
if,
for
if
sure.
we are all the same, perhaps this gets boring. So that's great that we can count on different people here. In regards to my result, it told me that I am honest and direct, very responsible, and I am also a calm and practical person. I agree with that. However, it said to me that maybe one of my weaknesses is being stubborn, and I don't agree with that. I think I am very open minded. I always try to listen to other people in order to have different opinions about certain topics, because maybe I can admit something, I am not perfect. So I always try to see the full picture, and then my partners and I can make a decision about something, or yes, about something. But that's why I am not saying that the test is a 100% accurate.
Okay.
Right.
I like your sort. Yeah.
Okay.
I know you. I can say it's a 100% reality. You are a very calm and responsible person.
Thank you.
Regarding my results, I have a virtuoso personality like Michael Jordan and Olivia,
Good.
and Olivia Wilde. The description say that I am understanding and curious person. Um, that I like challenge and involve people in my projects. It's amazing that only 50% of people in this world have the kind of this personality. It's a rare personality. One of my strengths is that I'm optimistic and always have a positive mind. On the other hand, my weakness I'm sensitive and low key. I have to work more to turn my weakness into strength because I study international business and I must be more extroverted and, and know how to read the emotion of people. Overall, I'm loyal and real person, close to the people I care about.
And I agree with you. We have worked several times in previous semesters, and I think your description of it, the the test results quite well, and yes, I do agree with you, and this goes for everyone here, guys.
Okay.
I believe that our weaknesses should become something positive for us to be better people, better professionals, or maybe better parents in the future. So I wish the best for you guys.
Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you.
Okay, I couldn't agree more, Jonathan. Thanks for your comments and well, guys, it was very interesting to learn more about you.
Thank you,
Right.
Jonathan.
Take care of you guys.
Best for you too. Okay, guys, in conclusion, I think everybody like this personality test. We learn a new thing about each other. We know a little more about ourselves. Well, guys, that was it. I enjoyed this conversation. I hope we can talk again in another time.
Well,
Right. Thank you again.
guys, thank you very much for your
Guys.
time.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.